Hi, good day, good evening, good morning. Whenever you watch this, good time for that time that you see it. I'm Yasin Bonds.
And I'm Shadley Desai.
And this is Coffee and Controllers.
And right now we're gonna dive into like what we came back from holiday and
we've been gone for a few months, and now we're on the recap of what has happened. Shadley?
So I got a Switch Lite and I've been playing Link's Awakening and like Insane Trilogy, and yeah, that's also with load shedding, you know. That's a top tier investment because I can't play.
Get you the Switch, guys. That's what you're trying to say. The Switch you can play when the power is gone, and if you are out of South Africa, stay there. This holiday I played myself, so I just played games on my phone.
Okay, so you're still making bad decisions for yourself. Excellent.
Also, when the power's out, sometimes I actually been playing Two Dots. I know it's a very basic game, and when we say games and coffee and controller, the phone is a controller. I've been playing Two Dots, and it has my attention
all the time.
Yes, I don't know. Did you ever fall prey to those games? That's the ads.
No.
I now download the games that they say you must not play during the ads.
And now, if you want to give us a sponsorship, please look. He's willing to show for money, and I'm willing to do it too. Now, talking about making bad decisions, Marvel's Avengers by Crystal Dynamics is suspending development. So
as it should be, though.
Like, there is no more content coming out, and like this is just 3 years after the game has come out. So for an online game, that kind of sucks.
It was also a basic game. It was a scope skit and donor, and then what?
Yeah, it's like a loot grinding shell of a game with a bunch of microtransactions. So, and also, can you blame yourselves?
All the characters felt like knockoffs of like Wish versions of the actual people we saw in the movies.
It's like this budget store Thanos. He's not even purple. Look at him.
I didn't even recognize that as Thanos. But yeah, so while the game is ending, it's fine. I feel like the world can move on. They can also move on to newer, better projects.
Look, now we're still getting Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine that's coming out. So that's like, that will scratch that itch. So you don't have to
Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine were both great games on previous consoles. So we have fingers crossed that they're going to do it well again.
And now, did you watch The Last of Us yet?
Not yet. I'm actually waiting for all of it to be done so I can start. I don't want to watch one episode and then what's gonna happen. I don't have that in the anxiety in my heart. I don't have it, so I'm gonna wait till it to end and then binge.
Look, yeah, I can see Brad. Brad is like definitely on board for it. Saeed is also on board, and Saeed didn't even play the game. So like, my initial thoughts is like, this is probably one of the better adaptations that's out there. Still have to see. Still a bit like nervous, but it's looking pretty solid.
Out of everybody on the team to watch it, I'll be The Last of Us.
I hate you for that. Okay, but did you watch Invincibles season 1?
Yes, I did.
And
it was amazing. It's actually Invincibles felt like what I wanted Avengers to be. Violence. Give me superpowers and violence, and also actual moral dilemmas, and also just people being bad. Give me that. That's why I love the show so much.
Are you okay, bro? Like,
I want violence. This year we're choosing violence.
Look here, for Black Adam, you just wanted the rocketing thing and killing people. Now Invincibles, you were like, oh, violence. This is not helping the cause of video games don't cause violence, okay? But this is different entirely. Anyways, they dropped the teaser for it. It looks exciting. It's coming out late 2023, which is pretty exciting for all of those waiting out.
I when they give us teasers too far in advance, because now they must give us a teaser in 2 months' time and another teaser in another 2 months' time,
and then a trailer, and then like we know what's happening. Anyways, if you haven't watched Invincible, watch it. If you have watched it, go read the comic book. It says it's fantastic, and I've heard from other people that it's probably been like one of the best things that has come out in like a long time. So like, go check that out. But that's only if you're into comic books. And now, some sad news is that Netflix is clamping down on password sharing. So they're going to charge you extra for...
Boo.
Like, what even is the point?
Why Netflix? We only have Netflix because we're sharing Netflix.
Like, you pay for 4 profiles, for 4 screens. Where must the 4 screens be? Huh? Yeah. Please explain. I don't have 4 screens in my house. Like
I have 4 eyes. Some people have 4 screens on 4 screens. Some people share profiles that are shared with other people. Just let us have it, guys. You're already only making 1 season and cancelling shows. Let us share more of the stuff, damn it.
How are people supposed to Netflix and chill? How will humanity continue without this ability?
Because you want to charge us extra.
Unacceptable. Can you imagine that you bring somebody over, you want to Netflix and chill, and now whoever has the account is like kicked you off.
Same with DSTV only giving us one person can stream. What nonsense is this? There's more screens in the house. Give us more. Let people stream. Damn it. Just
more
angry
means
today.
more money for you. Anyways, some sad news now. Bongani Njoli, the legendary voice of ETV's trailers and a radio presenter, like a renowned radio presenter, he passed away. And I feel like we've lost an icon, a national icon.
There is no more action, Friday night action. Guys, we're missing the man that done the lotto numbers also.
The man who single-handedly carried Anaconda to
number 69. You're in for a good time.
Like,
we're missing him now.
Like strength and condolences to his family. But we lost a hero.
We really did.
Friday action nights only on E.
This is the coffee pot, and we were sent this lovely device, and we don't know if they want us to make drugs or coffee.
Yeah, failed science. I don't know if I can do this.
What is this? What's the name of this thing?
I don't know.
Brad, what's the name of this device called?
Science, bitch.
Science. This is coffee made by science, bitch. That's the words that we have. Growing up, you would go to the corner shop for your mommy and ask if you could keep the change. She'd go buy a bread, and then you go, "Can I have the change, please?" And then you do the change, you go play the games.
Yes, those are the days we had to go out to play the games. Anyways, there was one game that would always be there, and that was Street Fighter 2.
This was the game that had you shouting, "Atu get," and all you get in the house. Don't stray.
Nah, and yeah, don't come with your Atoka nonsense. We knew it as Atu get and all you get, and I know you shouted that at the people.
Street Fighter 2 was one of the first fighting games that we really experienced. Not even Street Fighter 1, Street Fighter 2. There were others, but this was the one that had the crowd going.
What made it like so special for you? For me, it was like the special moves, like when you learned like how to do that to get, and like the all you get, you know.
It's when you
made you feel like a master, like you're getting somewhere now.
Actually, I struggled with that to get.
Really?
I struggled for years. I think it's one of the reasons I got into the game late, because I saw everybody was like, "Oh no, they can do the move." Now I must just
now you must
kick.
You must just throw. I can throw a punch now. I must dodge this thing.
I used to cower. I came to me. I had to cover.
Yeah.
So you obviously had a single player mode where you fought through everybody, and then you made it to Bison. And when you got to Bison and you beat him, that means you clocked the game.
But the real challenge came from the other players, you know. You're playing against somebody else. They put in the credits. You like playing, now they come and they beat you, and they beat you senseless.
Someone
now you
gives
must
you
go
a
home.
buck. It's horrible.
And that's what made it so lekker, was like you playing against somebody else, you know. It was when you could take them off, and it was lekker when you could you learned enough to take off a brand to quiet the shop.
Or you just lose. But all you need is that one time to beat that one bra.
That was the appeal of fighting games. Like, you can always improve, and you'll actually notice it, and it felt lekker when you got better, you know.
It was like esports, but it happened at the corner shop, and it was at a crowd as well. It popularized the concept of face-to-face, a tournament-level competition between two players.
Yeah, you think you're joking, but even John Romero, the bro who created Doom, cited Street Fighter as the influence on Doom's deathmatch mode. How wild is that? Street Fighter pioneered deathmatch for first-person shooters.
That really was a game changer.
That's a big game changer. But okay, yeah.
I must ask, who was your favorite character?
Yeah, it's Kyle because of the weird hair. I actually wanted to have that hair.
That hair that comes from?
Yeah, I wanted that.
Sonic Fire!
Yeah,
that was the other thing that Street Fighter 2 really had, was iconic characters. A little something for everybody. There was representation worldwide. It might have been a little racist if you look back at it now, but for the time it counted.
Yeah, and all the characters felt a little different. It helps it apart, It was like, it wasn't just reskinned characters. They all played a little bit differently.
Imagine playing against someone who plays Ken and you beat him. Now he picks Blanca. Now you must figure out all that from the start. A new style, a new person. Oh, loved it.
This is why it's like considered so influential, like one of the most influential games of all times.
Representation.
Not quite. It introduced like the combo mechanic to fighting games. It's like one of the first ones, so you could string together like your moves and like devastate your opponent.
We have been talking about Street Fighter 2, the arcade experience, but this game also dropped on the SNES, on the Sega Mega Drive, and the Game Boy.
The Game Boy wasn't great, eh? It was, and if you still don't believe how influential it was, maybe the estimated $10 billion in total revenue worldwide will change your mind. 10 billion. Have you seen 10 billion?
That
No.
10 billion made it to one of the top 3 highest grossing video games of all time as of 2017. That's insane. Also, how many 50 cents did people have to spend to make 10 billion?
Yeah, I don't want to think about it. That's too much. See, like, we're not saying this because of nostalgia. It's like widely regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time.
It inspired modern fighting games, created new mechanics, and influenced competitive gaming. Wasn't just you and the computer you fighting, you fought against real people.
And don't forget teaching you to ask for change so you can play. You go to your mommy and be like, can I keep the change like afterwards, and then stay and play.
It also taught you to humble yourself when you lose, because you can't be big. Because you can talk a game until you get to the arcade machine. Then you lose.
Yeah, and that's all you get for now.
Let's go to gaming law. Now, for a quick break, we bring you the unwritten, unspoken laws of all games. We don't ask questions, we just accept and abide like good citizens.
So this one has been around since fighting games have existed. You must tell your opponent that you need to figure out the buttons and then press a few random buttons.
And if you're on the other side, you must give them space. You can't just hit the bra, okay? Even if you know he can play or he can't play, if he says he's figuring out the buttons, take the break.
Like if he's here and you here and he's throwing punches, you can't just throw a fireball and hit him. You must give him his space. Personal space is important. And if you have any other gaming law that you would like to share, drop it in the comments below, please. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
My favorite move was when I say, oh, now I'm figuring out the buttons. Fireball, fireball, fireball. I'm figuring out what is this. Beat you.
I don't know what I'm doing.
And now back to the regular viewing.
Okay, so as we mentioned, Street Fighter 2 is widely regarded as one of the most influential games of all time. It shaped the fighting game genre. It planted the seeds for competitive gaming. Like, it's huge for 1991.
It also made real brasse. Because if I'm Ryu, then he's Ken. And that's real friendship over there. But Street Fighter has been successful as a whole franchise. It has 6 mainstream titles and a bunch of spin-offs and crossovers. Crossovers for days.
Let's not forget the various manga and comics, animated series, great fan films, and terrible live action films.
The fan films are actually better than the action films.
Are you man enough to fight with me?
Yeah, no, the live action films are horrible.
Let's focus on the good things. Street Fighter franchise has always been producing great fighting games. After Street Fighter 2, we had the Alpha series. Then there was Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, and 5, and 6 is dropping soon.
Yeah, 6 is coming out soon, and it looks very, very... The franchise also had like amazing crossover games with like you had SNK vs Capcom, Marvel vs Capcom, and Street Fighter cross Tekken, or however you want to call it.
And if you're familiar with fighting games, then you know Marvel vs Capcom is one of the biggest fighting game franchises out there. It was amazing.
Even in the crossovers, they're dominating the fighting game scene. Like in 2012, like Complex Magazine ranked Marvel vs Capcom at number 37 on their list of best good video game franchises. Do you know how wild that is? So like you winning from 2 franchises. What?
And that goes back to what we said earlier. Street Fighter 2 reshaping the whole fighting game genre. You had cleaner, more fluid mechanics to pull off all the amazing combos.
If you could play. Anyways, if you think about it, it's like the biggest fighting games all came out post Street Fighter 2. You had Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters, Virtua Fighter, Tekken, all after Street Fighter 2.
It laid the groundwork for Street Fighter 5 and that's still one of the big 3 competitive fighting games.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and then Dragon Ball FighterZ and Tekken is also there as well. And who can forget Daigo at Evo, like moment 37 or 32? Which one is it?
Was that when he padded the entire...
He parried the whole move, and
Oh.
then he like went on to win, and he had like so bitchy hell.
So this game refined the fighting genre and created competitive scene for it.
Yeah, aware, like you could compete against like a human opponent. It's not just challenging for a high score, like you're competing against a proper opponent, like
I mean-
another bra.
We used to put out money at the machine to say we like me next on the thing. It was a bit of gambling, to be honest. But people actually started tournaments like this as a result.
Yeah, and like the popularity of Street Fighter 2, like that drove like that head-to-head focus, you know? It saved the arcade business. Do you know how wild it is? Arcades were like on the down, and then this came out and just started booming. And like to this day, it's still very popular in like especially in the East. Like arcade, like fighting games is still
I think you can
Very,
still
very-
put down a Street Fighter 2 machine. Like,
Yeah,
let's say
sure
you have
you
a
can.
pry and you say, yo guys, I got arcade 2, I got an arcade machine and I
People
got
will
Tekken
play.
2. People will line up.
people will play, they will come.
But just when you think the game couldn't be even more influential, it drops more clout. If you were listening earlier, you remember that the Doom guy said it influenced him to add a multiplayer component.
Yeah, that's right. John Romero did cite Street Fighter 2 as the influence on the deathmatch mode. And like as I like mentioned before, like that was like the most iconic first person shooter. It's basically the one that pioneered it all. So like think about this, nah? Call of Duty, Battlefield, Counter-Strike, all of your big shooters like stem from Doom, right? And they all like popular multiplayer.
Okay, you're saying first person shooter.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
There's a penis joke there, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make it because I'm better than that.
So huge esports presence, you know, like multiplayer presence. That's what it's known for, millions of dollars, and it's all inspired from Street Fighter 2's influence, all because they went like, let's put in head-to-head, people versus people combat.
Do you think Blanca could help ISCOM? Like he has that
Yeah.
one move that he could power. He could power the country.
Yeah,
I want Blanca to come back and save South Africa, please.
those are real solutions to real problems.
How is one game so impactful? See, this is why it's regarded as one of the greatest video games of all time. It's there with Tetris, Street Fighter 2. That's influence that you can't buy.
Yeah, hands down, it's like the GOAT. I mean, we can talk about it for hours, but it speaks for itself.
I
you
somehow
know?
feel like kicking battles now. I
No.
feel like fighting Alexis. Just
No, and like mooring it.
I could,
like-
I
like-
could never beat the battle stage, by the way.
Yeah, that was the worst. That was horrible. Anyways, like, if you think about it, innovating the fighting game genre, created a multiplayer franchise, multi-game franchise multiplayer, and laid down the plans for competitive gaming.
And that's
All
all
you
you
get.
get.